That piece of paper right there, which will take you somewhere between 2 and 4 hours to master, will sell you 3, 4, 5 cars a month additionally. It's more than just the math. It's the story. It's how you set it up. How do you set it up? Scott, look, you probably know, like everybody else, the cars depreciate, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? They do, but here's what most people don't know. Every car payment's got a portion of it that goes into a savings account. Now, this is not a savings account in the traditional sense. It's a savings account that looks like a free and clear title. That's what you get when you finish paying it off. Why don't we look at your payment, look at the vehicle you're buying, and see what part of that payment is really coming back to you every single month. Fair enough? So you gotta hook them so they'll watch and get involved. Whenever there's calculations going on, I always give the calculator to the customer. Why do I want them banging the keys instead of me banging the keys?
So they can physically see it themselves.
Because somehow, if they do 16 times 16, it's correct if they're pounding the keys. If I do it, I could be trying to screw them somehow, you know? Mm-hmm. So I always let the customer do the math. I go slower for some people that take a little bit longer to catch on. I go faster with other people. I match my customer. My normal pace is extremely fast. I have to slow down. I didn't know that early on in my career. Early on in my career, I was told that being enthusiastic was really important, so I was loud and waved my arms a lot, which it turns out 25 years later I discovered that's considered obnoxious behavior by 80% of the population. Okay, so I eliminated an awful lot of opportunities for myself because I just didn't know any better. All right? You walk them through the numbers. You say, look, you're going to write, you never deviate from the 537. Look, the check you're going to write is $537. I've had customers go, well, no, I told you I can't write. I said, I heard you. I got it. I know. I'm with you. I don't want to write it either. But if you're going to get part of it back, I think you're going to be happy. Just hang tight for a second. So they listen. I did this in a Kia store. This was in December. And the only reason I remember this one is because they were two Georgia Tech graduates, probably in their early 40s. Georgia Tech, I'm trying to think if you've got a school like Georgia Tech around here. What's the engineering school in Ohio or Kentucky? Is there an engineering school?
Like, you know, UK's got in Louisville have an engineering department.
Okay, well,
yeah, specific.
Yeah, well, Georgia Tech, I mean, yeah. the kind of math they learn there, right. I mean, I couldn't, it's beyond me. Anyway, I closed them, and they were back in the, it was during football season, they were back in the customer lounge watching a football game while they're waiting to go into the F&I, so I went back there to check on the score. The guy goes, I said, yes, sir. He goes, that's pretty good what you did. I'd never seen anything like that before. Me and my wife been talking. We'd never, ever heard of a car payment being a savings plan, but now we see how it is. Because you know what? It is. When they're finished paying for the car, is it worthless? Well, depending on what they bought. But no, there's going to be a value. But people don't think like that. They're trying to grind you. They're trying to try you on for size. Even though they like you and they've had a good time here, if they can't justify it in their own mind, they're going to go somewhere else. And I don't know if you've been told this, but when they leave, they don't come back. I'm going to think about it. Shut up, you are not. That's what I want to say these days, because I know they're not. I want to think about it is a very nice way of saying, Christy, we're never going to buy a car from you, but we don't want you to be depressed until we're outside in our own car. All right? So, well, we'll be back. We'll be back. They don't come back, do they? I mean, on rare occasions, of course, they do. You guys have got it all going on here. I mean, the price is good. The benefits are off the charts. I understand it's a pretty nice group of people here. I mean, you've got a damn restaurant in your showroom. I don't run into that very often. I'm trying to think in Atlanta if I've ever run into it. They've got 22 Chevy stores down there. I can't think of one of them's got a restaurant. Some of them got a little cafe or something. I ordered lunch. He ordered lunch. He bought lunch. Thank you again for that. Okay. Do you guys buy into this, or is this bullshit?
I'll be honest, I'm kind of confused.
I am too.
I don't really understand.
I'm not like really great in math, and I guess
Okay,
my first
Good.
question is they're gonna say to me, well, no, because I'm writing a check for $537 every month. That's what's important to me right now.
Okay, okay. And, you know, it absolutely is. Where did I get, okay, what's this represent?
That's residual.
That's what it's going to be worth after they finished writing the checks. Okay?
You get the 42%.
The 42% is, it's a number that's pretty close to what the experts say a Malibu will be worth at the end of a 5-year period of time.
So how do we calculate if it's an Impala or a Tahoe?
If it's a Suburban, if it's a Tahoe, if it's a Silverado, it's going to be higher. None of your cars will ever be lower than 42%. Okay? I use 42% for all cars. Hondas, I'll use 45%. Subarus, I'll use 52%. Ford trucks, Chevy trucks, I'll use 49%. Because, you know, these are vehicles that hold their value better than others. Okay? And if you're just in the ballpark, because again, that's just sort of an average. If the car's in great condition, it'll be worth more. If it's in not so great condition, it'll be worth less. But this is a key point. So that's what they have left after they finish writing the $537 check. Okay? And by the way, if they cannot afford the $537, we put them on the wrong vehicle. And there is no magic for that one. Okay? I'll try to switch them to a different vehicle. That's a desperation move, I might add, because to switch at this point in time it's a long shot, because the mistake was made a couple hours ago. All right, so this is what their car's worth. Okay, so I divide that number by the number of payments they made, which is 60. Okay? And that equaled 182. So $182 of every $537 a month payment they went was going towards their title. I took 537, subtracted 182, which gave it a net payment of $355. Okay? And then down here, I just threw in the tax credit on the vehicle when they trade it. Because isn't there going to be a tax credit?
I didn't know that.
In Kentucky, as I understand it, because it's the same way in Georgia, if I buy a $40,000 car and I've got a $20,000 trade-in, and the tax rate is 6%, I only pay taxes on the difference between the value of the trade and the new car, which would be $20,000. That means I pay $1,200 in tax as opposed to $2,400 in tax. So they're going to get another $600 when they trade the vehicle. This is something you need to know. Okay? When a customer trades in a car, if they're bitching about the trade-in amount, you need to add 6% on top of the trade, because that's the tax credit they got.
For Kentucky customers, and that's new and
Yeah.
used. It's different for Ohio.
Do Ohio customers get a tax?
It's different.
They don't get it on used, they just get it on new.
Actually,
on a new,
so if they trade used to used, they get no tax credit. But if they trade their car in for a new car, they do get a tax credit.
Yeah.
What's the tax rate in Ohio?
it varies, it can be as much as 7.5 or as low as, what, 6.5 or so,
Okay. That's,
depending on their county.
okay. All right, is it making more sense?
Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to tell you that I'll give you it in writing. You can look at the thing. You can watch the videos. But until we do it tomorrow a couple times, and then you'll see it really is easy. And Christy, believe me, the math is not difficult. It is basic division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. There is nothing algorithmatic about it, if that's even a word. If it was, I couldn't do it. Lord, that Lord. Okay, That's one way to handle the customer who is objecting to the payment. It is a justification, not a negotiation. Okay?